Is it weird that I want to try this bike out on the Hill of Doom? Oh, no, I don't think we're going to make it. I don't think we're going to make it. Oh, look left and right. Right here is a category that Velotric hasn't been in, so now they've started off with their first three-wheel bike. This is the Velotric Triker, and in this video, I'm going to show you everything you need to know about it, so let's get into it. When you get your Velotric Triker, it's going to come to you as a Class 2 e-bike, which means you can reach up to 20 miles an hour via your thumb throttle here on your left-hand side, your torque or cadence sensor down below, and your 5 levels of pedal assist. The trike weighs 85.5 pounds and has a maximum payload capacity of 500 pounds. And during the making of this video, you can purchase the Velotric Triker for $23.99, and it comes with a 2-year warranty. Velotric says that the Triker's average rider height starts at 4'10" and goes to 6'5". It also comes in 3 different colors. You have the cherry crimson right here, and it also comes in a pearl white and electric blue. Velotric says that the Triker can go up to 60 miles on a single battery charge. Your Triker will come with a 48-volt, 750-watt rear hub motor. It has a peak power of 1,300 watts and 90 newton meters of torque. It has a 7-speed transmission, a tourney derailleur, a 40-tooth chainring, and a 7-speed trigger shifter. For stopping power, you have 2 piston hydraulic brakes and 180mm rotors. The front forks are by Trauma. They have 80 millimeters of travel. You can preload them and you can lock them out. The tires are 20 by 3 inches. They are the K-Rad version from Kenda. They have a very nice street pattern on them and they're puncture resistant. When it comes to the battery, it's located right here, which is right underneath the driver's seat, and it is a 48-volt, 16.75 amp hours with 783.9 watt hours of power. And you can charge it with this charging port right here. Now, you don't have to leave it connected to the battery. You can take it off and charge it somewhere else. But it will come with a 3-amp charger, which means you can charge this bike up in about 5 to 6 hours. If you want to know the charge of your battery, you're just going to push the button right there, and it'll give you a various color ring. As you can see, that one's blue, which means we have a full charge. When it comes to removing the battery, it comes with 2 keys. You're just going to put one key in there. You're going to turn it back, and then we're just going to lift up on the battery, and it pops right out. When it comes to putting the battery back in, you have to line both sides up so that it's touching, and then you're going to clip it down into place, remove the key, and you're good to go. The Triker has a UL certification of 2271 and a UL certification of 2849. It has an IPX6 rating, which means it can handle high-pressure water streams from any angle. Velotric is one of the companies that display the UL certification right on the down tube. Additional features include metal fenders, plastic pedals, a quick-release seat post, this extra wide seat. It has a lot of padding, and it also has a very nice padded backrest. It will come with this rear basket that can hold up to 120 pounds, and this Velotric bag where you can put all of your items in there and secure them with a zipper. You have spots here where you can connect various accessories like a bottle holder or a foldy lock, connections for a front basket, a large and bright headlight, a rear taillight and brake light with turn signals, dual bar end mirrors, and an adjustable stem. Since this is a trike, you would not be able to put this on a bike rack. So what Velotric did is they said, you know what, we're going to make this thing to where you can fold it and actually put it in the back of an SUV. And to do that, we're just going to lift up here on the stem, push the lever down, and your handlebars will come right down. From there, we're going to release the frame, and we're going to just pull it back on itself. Let's get that pedal out of the way. And that is how you can save some space. Now, if it's a little bit too tall with this backrest, we'll just pull the seat off, and then it should fit right on in. When folded, the Triker is 44 inches long, 26 inches high, and 27 inches wide. Let's talk size and fit. Now, when you take a look at the overall length of the bike, it is 65 inches in length. And I do have this set up for the smallest rider. But first, I want to show you that it is only 16 inches on the step over, making it super low and easy to get on and off. I have lowered the seat here to your lowest rider, so that would be for your 410 rider right there. And you can make adjustments, obviously, here because we have that adjustable stem on how these handlebars can go back and forth. Now let's go ahead and set it up for your tallest rider. There are numbers on the back here and a line telling you where the highest seating position is right there. So that should be for your 6'5" rider. But in reality, you could move it up a little bit higher if you needed to, you would just be taking it past the safety line. Now for me, I am 5'9", 225 pounds, I have a 32-inch inseam, and this is what I should look like riding this bike today. Velotric has done a great job with their Comfort Max system, and here's what I'm talking about. You have this super thick seat, you have this super padding. Down here, it is very low to help you get on and off the bike easily. You have the adjustable stem and these grips, but they also, focus on safety with the UL ratings that they have that they proudly display on the down tube. And they figured out a way to make sure that this bike doesn't move around whenever you're not on it. It has parking brakes. So this is the rear brake. There's a tab right here that you just hold it in, and now the back brakes are locked. But you can also lock the front as well with the same type of setup. So now this bike is not going to go anywhere. And maybe in the review, hopefully if I remember, we'll do this on a hill so you can see how well it works. Cockpit Operations. On your left-hand side, you have your bar end mirror, and then you have a single locking grip. The rubber feels really good, and it has this palm rest right here. This is your front brake, this is your throttle, and this is your control pad. To turn on the bike, you're gonna hold this power button here at the top until your display lights up. Right here is your display. As you can see, it is in full color. It is very nice. And it has your battery indicator right here. This is where it shows you that the automatic headlight is turned on. And then when you do turn your headlights on, that'll light up. If you have the horn on, that will light up. And this shows that it's in beginner mode. You can also take a look over here. It's going to show your pedal assist levels, whether you're in torque or cadence. And as you can see, it's lit up in beginner mode. This is exactly how you will receive the bike. And then right here is our speedometer. You'll get various information from this bar down below. To access this various information down here, you're just gonna hit your M button real quick. And that shows us our average speed, our max speed, calories burned, CO2 saved, odometer, total time on the bike, your motor temp, your controller temp, and then it goes back to trip distance and trip time. To go up in pedal assist levels, you're just going to hit your plus button. And as you can see, the color changes over here. The neat part is when you're riding, this bar will also be whatever color this is, and it will get stronger the faster you go. And in beginner mode, you only have 3 pedal assist levels. To go down in pedal assist levels, you're just going to hit your minus button, and you can take it all the way down to 0. Right here are your turn signals. By hitting the left one, you can see that it is indicating up here, and listen, you can hear that it's also beeping. So it gives you an audible indication that your turn signals are on. I really like that feature. To turn your headlight on, you're just gonna hold your plus button until your headlight comes on. That is where this little indicator is gonna pop up to show you that your headlights are on. To turn them off, you're just gonna hold that button once again. Right here is a horn. It's an electric horn, and you can turn this on or off in the settings. Whenever you hit the horn, you'll see it light up. We'll do it again. That horn is loud. If you need to charge your phone, there is a USB-C charging port right there. On your right-hand side, you have your rear brake lever right here. This is your shifter. To make it work, you're going to use your thumb to go down in gear, and then use your index finger to go up in gear. And then it also comes with a bell, which is much more pleasant than the aggressive horn. Let's hop into advanced settings. Now to activate that, we're just going to hold down on our M button until the display changes. There we go. Now we are in the menu. This is the beginner mode. To go into any one of these, you're just going to hit the M button real quick. And this is where we have it turned on. I'm going to turn it off. And there we go. Yep, I understand. We're going to confirm that. And then here is where we can adjust the speed limit. Now we can adjust how fast the throttle and how fast the pedal goes. Right now, you can take it all the way up to 20 on pedal assist and as low as 8 miles an hour. For now, I'm going to set it up for 20. Then we're going to bounce down and do the same thing for the throttle. We're going to accept that by hitting the M button again. Then use your power button here at the top to get out of that menu. Here is sensor swap. There's 2 different ways that you can switch between torque and cadence. One is by switching it here within the menu by using your left and right turn signal buttons for cadence or torque. We're going to leave it on torque for the moment. We'll be testing them in both. And then right here we can clear our trip data, which is one thing that we are definitely going to do. Let's do that so we can see how far this bike goes today. From there, we can adjust the screen brightness. It is set on auto. That is exactly what I want. You have your rear light mode, and this is where you can change it to where the light is steady, but if you hit the brakes, then it flashes, or you can have it flashing and then it goes to steady whenever you hit the brakes, or you can have it to where the backlight is steady and then it brightens up and it flashes. Let's go ahead and leave it on that. Right here we have auto headlight. That's where it turns the headlight on and off automatically depending on how dark it is outside. Your auto power off. You can choose how long you want to the bike before it falls asleep, all the way up to 60 minutes. 5 is fine. Let's bounce down here to throttle limited. Now this is where you can control the throttle in each one of these modes. So if you want the throttle to be dictated on whatever pedal assist level you're on, this is where you can set it off. Like right now, it is set to off, which means the throttle will go all the way up to 20 miles an hour if I have it into torque mode. But right here, it shows that if I have it into cadence mode and I'm in the different pedal assist levels, the throttle will only take me to those speeds depending on the pedal assist level. I like that setup right there, so let's move on. Cruise control. I'm a fan of cruise control, so we're going to turn that on so we can test it today as well. Turn signal click. I like the fact that it has that audible click whenever your turn signal is on, because maybe you're not looking down at the screen, but you can hear the beep, beep, beep. And because of that, you know your turn signals are on, so we're just going to leave that on. Horn toggle. So we can make it to where this horn works or it doesn't. I think it's aggressive, so I'm just going to turn it off, and we'll just use the bell to let people know we're passing. Connect to the app. This is where we're going to connect it to the Velotric app to where we can also adjust our settings inside there, track our ride, and various things. Find My, for all of us Apple lovers, you can connect this to your Find My app and be able to track your bike in any location. Set unit, right here is where we bounce between miles per hour and kilometers. Sensor calibration. If your bike starts acting weird, we can calibrate the sensor and fix it. And then this gives you your various version info. Let's go ahead and go back to the main screen, and that covers advanced settings. There is a good chance that this might be the first trike you ever get. And because of that, I'm going to show you how beginner mode actually works. Okay, so in beginner mode, the display is going to show you exactly how I showed you in Cockpit Operations, and you are going to be limited to 8 miles an hour. And the reason for that is because it's going to help you learn how this bike works, right? Now you can pedal it, or you can just use the throttle, and your top speed is going to be, well, mine is 7 miles an hour, and the throttle works incredibly slow. So it's all going to be gentle. The throttle's working, but it's only taking me to about 6 miles an hour. And if you wanted to pedal, you can get it up to 8. But the main thing is, it wants you to learn how to make these turns, right? So, you know, that's going to be the most important part for you as you try to figure out how a trike works, because it doesn't operate like a normal bike. It's going to do different things due to the fact that you have these 2 wheels back here, and, you know, which is great for those who have maybe balance issues or something like that, because this bike is extremely, like, I'm trying to get a back wheel off the ground. Okay, there we go. I finally did it. So it's going to be a lot easier for you to make these turns, but the way you do it, you have to lean into it. Here, you know what? Let me show you from a different angle. Unlike normal bikes, when it comes to making a turn, you need to lean into that turn, okay? So as we go left and then we go right, and you can still pedal as you make these turns, but that's the main thing that you're gonna wanna be able to know, is that you can control it. As you saw, that back wheel came off the ground. You can do it. You can get the back wheel off the ground if you turn hard enough. But the main thing is you want to make sure that you are comfortable on the bike at these lower speeds before you attempt to do anything at a higher speed. If you're feeling unstable, I'm going to ask you guys to go ahead and check your tire pressure. Okay, so each one of these tires, the maximum PSI is 40. I have all of these at 30. Reason being is this isn't a full suspension trike, so I wanted to make sure that it can provide me with some comfort. Although this seat is extremely comfortable, and I'm assuming that, you know, once you guys got more used to this, you could easily add a suspension seat post on this bike. But yeah, so the main goal of having it in beginner mode is to cruise at a top speed of 8 miles an hour and get used to the bike. Since we're here, we're going to go ahead and knock out the brake test. We're going to do it in 3 different modes. Number 1, beginner mode, where we're doing 8 miles an hour. I have it in pedal assist number 3, and we're already at 8 miles an hour. And we're going to see how quick this bike stops, which was almost immediately. It stopped within 5 feet. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to take it out of beginner mode. And when you do that, it sets the bike at 12 miles an hour. So we're going to do that next. So what we will do is we'll do it at 12 miles an hour, which is what it'll be set for, and then we'll do it at 20. We have it in pedal assist number 5. I have it in cadence mode. I want to make sure that it's only going to do 12 miles an hour, and it is. Where are we at? 8 feet. 8 feet at 20, or 8 feet at 12 miles an hour. Now what we're going to do is we're going to hop in here and we're going to change the speed limit to 20 miles an hour. Round 3, I'm going to let the throttle do all the work here. Well, really, we have it into cadence mode, so there we go. We're at 20. Right at 20 feet. So we went 20 feet at 20 miles an hour. I think that's pretty good. I mean, the braking on this bike feels really nice. You don't feel like you're out of control at any point. I think the tires are doing very good as well. I mean, when it comes to the braking, you just have this big disc in the back to where it's stopping the 2 in the back, and then you have the 1 up front. So I think when it comes to braking a trike, it's going to be about as safe as you could possibly get. All right, let's go have some fun. I just noticed, which is very smart, is they put another connector right here. So you could put a water bottle holder right there, right on the stem. And then they have another connection point right here where you could, I don't know, you could connect all kinds of stuff. That and this is very smart. I want to go ahead and talk about the Velotric app. I've used this on other bikes. It's very good. I like it. From here, you can go into the bike settings and change things. Like you can set it into beginner mode, screen brightness, control how fast your pedal assist levels work, your auto headlight. Ooh, let's turn cruise control back on. You can bounce between torque mode and cadence mode, which I'm going to show you how to do that on the bike as we're riding. Your turn signal click, your sensor swap, bouncing between the 2 and miles and kilometers. You can also update your firmware. Then you can hit the start riding. Oh, right here when you take a look at the bike, it shows that the battery's at 94% already. Okay, we've only gone 1.1 miles, but we're going to see how this thing works out. Start riding. We can start tracking the mileage. Now, we've gone 1.1 miles so far. We can track. I don't know why it says pause, resume. Are we tracking our mileage? Let's go ahead and hit resume. So we're tracking our trip, apparently. Where does it show us? I don't know. We're going to play with this and see what happens if that's tracking the thing. I also have Strava going, but these are like the very simple things. So like if you like to have your, phone on your handlebars and you can control the bike from there, I just like to have it where I control it from right here. And then if you take a look, it shows that we are recording the ride. So it may or may not be 1.1 miles difference because it said that we were recording already. So maybe it was just something I hit. We'll figure it out. So we are on the 606 trail here in Chicago. That's just in case you didn't know where I do my reviews. And we are cruising at 8 miles an hour in pedal assist 0. That means we have 0 throttle response and the bike is not providing us any assist while pedaling. I do have it down into gear 3 while riding this bike, and it's in cadence mode, which doesn't matter because it's not providing you any assist. Now, if you notice, I only have 1 mirror here on the side. It does come with mirrors for both sides, but for some reason, whenever I put those on there, it kind of distracts me. So I only like having a mirror on the left-hand side, but your trike will come with 2 mirrors, 1 for each side. Right now, the bike is in cadence mode, and I want to show you how to switch between cadence and torque. And by doing that is while you are pedaling, all you have to do is hold down on that M button, the same one that takes you into the advanced settings, and it will switch between cadence and torque, and it shows up on the screen so you know which version you're in. I think if you've never been on a trike before, torque mode is going to be a good decision for you, especially after you've made it out of the beginner mode process. While in beginner mode, I would suggest that you feel them both out. You feel both the torque and the cadence mode, so you can kind of get used to both. Right now, we're in pedal assist number 1, and we're cruising about 9 miles an hour in gear 3. Let me put it here in gear 4. The cool thing about a torque sensor is that you can make the bike go faster just by applying pressure to the cranks, which is different from a cadence sensor, which I'm going to show you here in a second. So we have the bike in gear 4. We have it in pedal assist number 1. We're cruising at 10 miles an hour. But if I crank down on the pedals, we are launching up. We're at 13, 14. Let me go up in gear. 15, 16, 17. Okay, so that's how a torque sensor works. The various levels of torque sensor just means it's going to provide you with various levels of assist. Pedal assist number 1 is going to provide you with the least amount of assist as you crank forward, and pedal assist number 5 is going to provide you with the most. So let's talk about the throttle on this. You can set the throttle to where it bounces between pedal assist levels, or it'll just take you up to 20 miles an hour. Currently, because of the torque sensor, you can, make it go from 10 miles an hour to 20. I have the throttle turned off, so it's not dictated by the pedal assist levels, but I have it turned on for cadence. And let me show you what I'm talking about. So we're just cruising around here at 8 miles an hour. I hit the throttle and the bike launches forward, and it will until we hit 20 miles an hour. Ooh, this thing moves out pretty quick, actually. On a straightaway, that feels pretty fun. It looks like we're holding 20.1 to 3 miles an hour. Now let's go ahead and put it into cadence. And to do that, we're going to pedal here. We're going to hold the M button, and then it's going to move into cadence mode, which it just did. In cadence mode, this is where the bike is only going to go to a certain speed, right? So in pedal assist number 1, we're doing 10 miles an hour. And it doesn't matter if I pedal more, see, it's not going to go faster than that, or if I pedal less. If you take a look, my legs are barely moving, and we're holding that 10 miles an hour. So let's go ahead and put it into pedal assist number 2 and see what the speed is on that. Right? I'm still cranking slow, but the bike has raised up to 12 miles an hour in pedal assist number 2. Let's go for 3. Number 3 will have you at 15 miles an hour. And then let's take a look at 4. Number 4 has you at 17 miles an hour. Let's go for 5. And number 5 has us cruising at 20.5 miles an hour. Since I do have the throttle set up to follow the pedal assist levels, if I stop pedaling and just use the throttle, then we're cruising at 9 miles an hour in pedal assist number 1. If I go ahead and hit it into number 2, you can see I'm not pedaling, it's going to follow those pedal assist levels. So we're doing 12 in pedal assist number 2. We should do 15 and 3. Yep, 15 and 3. Number 4 should take us to 17 miles an hour. And it does. And let's go to 5, and that should take us up to 20. And right here, we're doing 20 miles an hour. And that's how that works. Let's take a look at the speedometer versus the display. They are both reading 15 miles an hour, which I figured they would. When it comes to a bike like this, you can pretty much assume that all of that is going to be correct. We're going to do this review in cadence mode. And the reason being is because I believe that most people will be using the cadence sensor first because it'll be less taxing on your body. If you have a bike like this, normally you have some kind of, maybe disability or a bad knee or some bad hips or vertigo or something like that. So I want you to, see how the bike performs in using cadence level, because that's what's going to provide less stress on your body. Now, I'm going to caution you when it comes to a trike that can do 20 miles an hour. And that is that if I'm coming up to a turn or whatever, I'm definitely slowing down, because you can flip this bike. It's a trike. You can flip it by going a certain speed and just having your weight shifted the wrong way. So you do have to pay attention when it comes to riding a trike and making turns. On a straightaway, though, I mean, it feels pretty good doing 20 miles an hour. It feels safe. Like, I feel pretty good. I just wouldn't want to make a quick turn with it. Right now, I'm doing 15 miles an hour. We're going to turn. Let me turn my turn signal on so people know. I'm hitting the brakes. I'm leaning into the turn, and we're doing it. We're making it. We made it safely. You have your audio indicator right there. You can hear it. We're going to turn off our turn signal here. We're making another turn. We're leaning to the left this time, and then we're going to make another sharp turn. leading to the right. And I did all of that at about 7 miles an hour. So it's, you know, it's a safety thing. Be smart about it. When it comes to my initial thoughts on this bike, I feel like this thing is incredibly premium for a trike. I mean, it feels like the Cadillac of e-trikes. I don't know why. I mean, the seat is incredibly comfortable. That backrest is awesome. And you can adjust that up or down. It's not stuck in that one position. You can adjust it to how it works for you. You know, the paint job on this thing is top notch. Love that cherry crimson color. I mean, it's gorgeous. The grips feel great. So far, everything is performing very well. Oh, and if you're wondering, well, yeah, it's easy to ride a bike like this without hands. I don't advise it. I don't advise it on a normal bike. I don't advise it on this, but you can do it. The display, it's super bright out. I can see everything I want to see. It's very clear when it's in that auto setting, which is very nice. My only concern is that in the app, you know, it showed that we dropped down to like 94%, like pretty quick within a couple of miles. Although I'm looking at the battery indicator and it shows full bars, but it only has those 5 bar indications. So it's going to drop down every 20%. But the nice thing is in the app, I can see what my actual percentage is. Too bad you cannot see it on the display. It is time to take this trike off-road. So here we go. Now, this is not something that you would take off-road an awful lot. I mean, it feels really weird doing it. I got to be honest with you. I mean, we're just going through this park area. The rattling that you hear in the back is like all of my camera equipment. So it's not the bike itself that's making the rattling noise. It's like my selfie stick and stuff like that. But yeah, we're just moving through. I do feel secure. Right? We're bouncing around. We're going left. We're going right. And it feels just fine. I mean, we've got this thing at 15 miles an hour just shooting through here. It's not something that I would do often, but the bike can handle it. Oh, no problem. Woo. That was interesting. Right now, the street that we're on has kind of a grade to it for, you know, like water and stuff for it to come off. And I am leaning a little bit to the left to keep myself straight. Welcome to the Hill of Pain. This hill goes from a 0% grade all the way up to 20, and we're going to try and see if this trike is going to make it up it. Now, first, we are going to use throttle only. We have it in pedal assist number 5, and let's see if we can make it up. I have a feeling we should. You know, this thing has 90 Newton meters of torque. Yeah, we're having no issues at all. We're doing 9 miles an hour right now, and we are making it up as if it was not an issue, which is good because I want you guys to think about that when it comes to like very tall and long mountainous roads. This bike felt really good heading up, and that was just throttle only. Now we're going to try it in cadence mode. We're just going to pedal. I'm in gear 3. I do still have it in pedal assist number 5. And yeah, once again, we are just moving up this hill. Matter of fact, gear 3 is low. I could put it in a higher gear because right now I'm putting 0 effort on the cranks and we're still just making it up at 9 to 10 miles an hour. All right, for the last one, I have moved it into torque mode. And let's see. Okay, so the torque kicked in immediately. Yeah, this thing is just climbing like it is no big deal at all, which is awesome because that puts a lot of confidence in this trike, because then you know that like if any big hills are in front of you, whether you pedal it, whether you use throttle only, you're not going to have a problem at all. When it comes to the amount of distance we're going to be able to get today, well, if you use a torque sensor and you have it in that mode, you can go farther because you're using more of your legs and body power to go the distance. Since we are using cadence mode today, because I feel like that's the one that you guys are going to use the most, the distance is going to be shorter. So just keep in mind that you will be able to go farther if you have it in torque mode. Here is something that I just noticed about the battery indicator. Normally it drops off in chunks of like 20%, but this one has like a half a bar, which means it has dropped down by 10. Yeah, it's just something I noticed. I looked down and I was like, huh, That bar looks like it's halfway gone, and it is. Oh. I hit the brakes while trying to make a turn, so the tires were squeaking a little bit. Definitely a suspension seat post, which I'm kind of surprised that for the money they didn't add one on this bike stock. It is time for the sand test, and I'm only laughing at this because why would you take a trike out into the sand? But this is what I do. We test them in everything. Let's go ahead and put this thing into pedal assist number 5. I have it down into gear 2. We're in cadence mode. We're going to use throttle. We're going to use pedaling. I don't think it's going to go well, but let's go. Let's give it a shot. Here we go. Okay, we've already made it farther than what I thought we would, which is pretty funny. It's not liking it at all, but we are making it through. Holy cow, are we? Well, this bike is doing better than what I thought it should be doing. This thing is making it through the sand. Now, are we going fast? Well, no. But are we getting it done? Yes. Actually, I'm going to put it into gear 1, and maybe that'll help me out even more. Woo. I mean, I have the throttle going. Everything's got to be heating up from this. This sand, you can see how it is. It's like the worst case scenario. It's so thick. It's so loose. And we are just barely making it through, but I'm very impressed with the fact that we're making it through at all. I mean, I did not expect this, and holy cow, are we going the distance? Whew. Let's go. Let's go. We're going to make it through to the other side. Holy cow, we made it. But let's take a look at the temperature. Motor temp is 163 Fahrenheit, and the controller is 118, 120. Not bad at all. That's pretty impressive. Whew. That took some legwork, though. Absolutely. In a minute for it to realize all of the heat. We have 176 degrees now, and it has turned yellow. But we've not lost any power. Controller temp is up to 120. I mean, that was so much for this thing. It really was. And it performed excellent. So look, it's already dropped down to 174, back to white. We're good to go. Check it out. We have made it to the Lakefront Trail. That is the Chicago skyline. That is Lake Michigan. And that is the concrete beach. Let's go ahead and talk about the cruise control. Now, I did turn the cruise control on in advanced settings. And to activate that, we're cruising at 15 miles an hour. I'm going to hold the power button up top, and then it is going to activate the cruise control, which it did. There was an indicator that just showed up on the screen. And then right now, no, I'm doing nothing at all, and we're cruising at 15 miles an hour. That's how the cruise control works. Now, if I want to turn it off, all I have to do is hit like a brake lever, and it will deactivate it. Let me show you what that looks like. Boom, I hit the brakes real quick, and the cruise control disconnected. We are entering what I call Drag Race Alley. Now, here's the thing. It is at an angle, and the reason I'm using my 360 camera is I'm hoping it'll show you. I know the GoPro will not, and it's always a little sketch. Right there, we're just using throttle right now, and I am leaning to this side to keep myself from tipping over. Of course, I guess if I sit straight up and down, nope, do not like how that feels at all. So if you are on an angle for a long distance of time, just shift your body weight over here to the opposite direction, and you should be just fine. I don't think I would want to hit this any faster than 15 miles an hour, but we're going to see. I just put it into pedal assist number 4, and we're doing 17. Ooh, the angle is getting bigger. So that's where you're going to notice the difference between a trike and a normal bicycle, is when it comes to these angled roads. But yeah, we're doing good. 17 miles an hour. Let's try it. I don't really want to do 20, but here we go. All right, we're up to 20 miles an hour on this incline that's sideways. Ooh. And yeah, it's totally safe. You just have to lean into it a little bit. Into it a little bit, and you'll be fine. Okay, enough of that craziness. I've also noticed, or what I haven't noticed, is engine noise. This bike seems to be awfully quiet. Well, you know what? That's not true, because I do hear the wah, but it's not very loud at all. And for those who missed it, wah, that's the noise it makes. Is it weird that I want to try this bike out on the Hill of Doom? I just stopped for lunch. The bike turned off. Oh, you know what? We were having the Velotric app track the ride, so I'm curious if it's still doing that. Because the bike was turned off. Like, does it reconnect when the bike turns back on? Let's go ahead and take a look back here. No, so we've lost it. It says start riding. So here's something to know, that whenever you, oh, well, hang on, it's recording again. So I wonder if it just takes it a minute or two to pick that back up. It shows that we're at 75%. It says the odometer is 9 miles, but we have gone 13.7. So that is interesting. Let's see what the recording does. It shows that we're down here. Cadence 2, yep, okay. And Cadence 3, all right. Well, I don't think that once the bike turns off that it still tracks it. I think it just started all over again. So I think it just keeps tracking you if you have the app turned on. I can tell you before even the end of this review, this is the nicest trike I've ever been on. Just with all the features and how everything works. Holy cow. This is also the most expensive trike. So the real question is going to be, is it going to be worth that $2,400, the $2,399 that this bike costs? And considering that I've probably reviewed maybe 4 or 5 other ones, and this being the best one out of them all, I think if you wanted like the Cadillac version of an e-trike, and you know Cadillacs cost more than normal cars, well, then there is your price difference right there. I do feel that you get what you pay for with this bike, especially with the sensor swap, right? The turn signals that make noises, the fact that you can change your rear brake lights to do different kinds of things. I mean, the sensor swap's a big one, cruise control. So it's a lot of features with this bike, plus it is extremely comfortable. The only downside I see of this bike so far is that I feel that it should have a suspension seat post for the money. And if that was the case, you wouldn't need to do anything to this bike, right? The plastic pedals seem to be working just fine. I don't mind them. I do like pedals with, better like prongs in them so that your feet don't slip. But my feet haven't slipped at all on this bike, so there's that. Let's take a look at the seating position. As you can see, my back is supported with this backrest. I'm sitting straight up and down. You know, with this adjustable stem, you can really set it up however you want. And that is a very good thing. It's easy to pedal. The throttle works fine. Let me go ahead and turn on the headlight here so you guys can see what that looks like in the daytime. Right there is your headlight. Of course, I mean, we're going through a shaded area, so it looks really good. But that is what your headlight looks like. You know what? Let's go ahead and get into the bright sun. Boom, right there we are. And that is how well you can see it in direct sunlight. When it comes to Chicago being a beautiful city, I mean, guys, check it out. Like, check out my view. You can't beat that. Yeah, man, I love riding in the city. Welcome to the Hill of Doom. This hill goes from 0% to 30. I have never taken a trike out on this trail. You know what? Let me go ahead and put it into pedal assist number 5. We're going to use throttle. We're going to have to pedal. And if this bike makes it, I'm going to be entirely amazed. So let's go in 3, 2, 1, and let's see if we're going to make it. I'm going to try to pick up as much speed as I can because it's going to get very steep. Oh, no, I don't think we're going to make it. I don't think we're going to make it. I don't know. Well, maybe. You got to be kidding me. You got to be kidding me. I cannot believe. Uh-oh. Where'd my drone go? I cannot believe that we made it up this hill. I have never done that with a trike or have felt confident enough with a trike to do that. That is crazy. Guys, I don't even know what to say. This is the first trike that I thought would, I didn't even expect it to make it over the top. I just expected us to make it close. I cannot believe that we made it up that Hill of Doom on a trike. I don't know if they underestimated the amount of torque on here, or I'm guessing that because of the freewheel back here, I was able to get it up and over. Plus we had it in cadence mode. No way I'm trying that in torque mode. I was just so shocked at the fact that we made it up that I totally forgot to test it in any other mode. But yeah, so the question was, is this trike worth $23.99? And I'm not using the fact that it just made it up the hill of doom as the sole reason for it, but that's just another reason to think about if this bike is worth the money. It's the only trike I would even consider attempting to take up on the hill of doom, and I'm just impressed. That is crazy. We still have plenty of power. I am kind of heading back. I decided to turn around. I'm going to see, we're going to go a little bit north and see how things are going up there. I always seem to go south here, but I do love it. I do think it's beautiful. Woo, make that turn. Let's kick it up in some gears. Oh, we're in pedal assist number 2. There we go. 3 is where I want to be. What an impressive trike this is. I just realized I forgot to check the motor temperature and controller temperature after doing that, just out of shock. Plus, not very often do I have a bike that gives me that kind of information. So, whoops, forgot about it. We are down to 3 bars, which means we should have 60% battery power. If I look at the trip meter here, looks like we've gone 16.9 miles, so we're about to hit 17. And this bike is doing very well on distance. I mean, let's think about what I've been putting it through. Sand test, 2 hill climbs, and one of them being the hill of doom. And then there was the sand test, which that was an awful long sand test. And I didn't think this trike was going to make it, to be honest. You know, I really had little faith that it could, but this thing is powerful. Oh, look left and right. I went to hit the horn, but I don't have the horn turned on. And then it was too late for me to hit the bell. Wouldn't that be embarrassing? Chicago News headline, guy gets run over by a trike. And they would have said it was my fault, but I have it all on footage, so they would know that it was not. Oh, okay, so that's where you can tell that you have a hardtail when you hit bumps like that. But as mentioned before, that's also where a suspension seat post will come in and do a world of good. The only thing I would ask is before you would put a suspension seat post on this is that you would get used to riding a trike like this. I mean, it's so different than any other bike. And we are back on Drag Race Alley, which I have to lean over for. You know, if you just want to be like cool guy, you can just put the thumb throttle on. Let me go ahead and lock it in for cruise control. And there we go. And now I can just be big pimping it and just chilling and leaning. Trikes are fun. We are heading back north, and I just got passed by a divvy bike. You know, if I wanted to, I could turn up the pedal assist level and probably smoke her. Oh, so I was checking. All right, so I had the cruise control on. I wanted to see if it would still be engaged if you change into a different pedal assist level. I didn't figure it would, and it didn't. The moment I put it into pedal assist number 4, the cruise control turned off. So if you're wondering about that, now you know. Oh, I talked about putting this bike on a hill and hitting the brakes, right? So right here, we're on a hill. I'm hitting the brakes. Ooh, the front wheel came up. That's the angle. That's how high of an angle we have. Let me lock in this brake, lock in this rear brake, and then I'm just going to step off of this and see if it holds it. And yeah, it does. If you're wondering, well, the GoPro's not going to show you, but that is the angle of the hill, and the bike is locked on there pretty good. Yeah, I'm not pulling it or anything. So if you lock in the brakes, yeah, it's definitely going to hold. And now we've just unhooked them, and we roll backwards. Like a boss. All right, let's go. Yeah, see, here's where it feels rough, right? I mean, you have 3 wheels on the ground, so each wheel is catching however the road feels.
and you're kind of moving all around. And we're doing 20 miles an hour. So in case you're wondering how that looks and how that feels, we're going to slow down here so we can make this turn. There were no cars around, or I would have used my turn signals, then turn to the right. And now we're back in the game. I am trying very hard to find some flaws with this trike. I really am. And besides the suspension C-post, that's all I can come up with. With us being in the streets here, I do have it in pedal assist number 5. I feel comfortable enough to ride this bike at 20 miles an hour now. And it is dropping battery pretty quick, as I figure it would. Now, if we had it in a torque sensor mode, we wouldn't be dropping that quick. So whatever the mileage is going to be by the end of this, just realize this is the worst case scenario. I mean, I would have taken it through that long distance through the sand, 2 hill climbs. So it's going to go farther than what we show in this review. Yeah, we are already down to the last bar, and it's like kind of between green and yellow. So it's giving us that warning that it is starting to get low. Oh, I get a kick out of that every time. Climb, climb, climb. We're going up. We're going up. Ah, there we are. We are back on the 606 trail. This bike has nothing it needs to show me. It doesn't have to prove itself anymore because it has done more than most normal e-bikes, actually, which I think is crazy. We are 3.3 miles from the house. We're on our last bar. It's yellowish. No, it's actually yellow now. And we should have plenty of power to make it home. Now, here's one thing I realized. Owners of this trike are not going to put it through the stuff that I've put it through, right? There's no way, especially in one day. There's no way they're going to do it because they don't need to. I did it for you. But at least you know what the bike can handle. You know what the funny thing is that we haven't figured out? What the bike cannot handle. That's something right there. Like, would I take it on a mountain bike trail or a single track? Obviously, no. But I really don't see the limitations of this trike. Now, I know some of you are going to say, oh, the distance is short, right? Come on, right? Ride this thing like a normal trike and it's going to go 30, 40 miles. Put it into torque mode and it'll go farther than that. So that's not an excuse of thinking that this bike's, is not going to go very far, because it will. Oh, we are flashing red right now. So we're down to 1 bar. It's flashing red. You know what? I kicked it down into pedal assist number 3. I was in 5 for a long time because we were going through the city. So now that we're out of it, I don't need to go and keep it into pedal assist number 5. Now, if you take a look at the battery bar, well, there's no more bars left. Just the outline itself is flashing. We have a mile to go to the house. So yeah, so it seems like whenever it's at that higher level on the top end of the battery, it drops a lot slower. And then once we hit like 30%, well, then it started to drop a lot faster. So that's something that you're going to want to keep in mind when you're thinking about the distance and how your battery operates. I'm curious if the throttle works. Let me go ahead and see, because the battery's flashing. I got the throttle engaged, and yes, we are moving at 15 miles an hour. So it's still holding the speed of pedal assist number 3. No pulsing, none of that kind of stuff, which is excellent. At this point, I'm going to just go ahead and take it home. This bike has proved everything that it needs to prove to me. And I already know that whatever my mileage is on this, the bike can go a lot farther.
It's time to go over my final thoughts. Now, when you look at the display shows we went 26.7 miles. But when you take a look at Strava shows that we went 25.92. Well, that's not really a whole lot of difference between the two, maybe a mile difference. So I think at that point, it's up to you on whether you want to use a third-party app to track your ride, or if you just want to use your trip distance that's on the bike. Let's talk about the testing that I put this bike through. Now, we went on the first original hill of pain, and that was only a 20% incline. This bike did extremely well on it, and I felt the power all the way through. At that point, I was like, you know what? I think this bike might survive the hill of doom, and it did. So not only Well, this is the first trike that I have ever put on the Hill of Doom, but it also is the first trike that passed the Hill of Doom. It made it up at the very end. I am super impressed. I know they say this bike only has 90 Newton meters of torque, but it felt like it was giving me more power as we made it all the way to the top, and that hill has a 31% grade. Then there was the sand test. I mean, I did not expect this bike to make it all the way through that sand. We went from one side to the next, and this bike just kept trucking through, no problem at all. I would say that this has to be one of the best trikes that I have ever ridden. This bike to me is like the Cadillac Escalade of e-trikes. I'm a huge fan of the audio beep on the turn signals. I think that is great. Now, you know what? There is one thing, like I was having a hard time figuring out anything bad to say about this trike, and it's not even a bad thing. Like I would add a suspension seat post to this trike because it's just going to make it better. I would absolutely keep the seat and the backrest. And then I was noticing how this cable management, this stuff's kind of like all over the place. I think if I just take a zip tie, I connect these two together, but kind of loosely, and it should look a lot better. But the cable management is kind of looking a little bit crazy, but I can fix that with a zip tie. Now look, if you are interested in the Velotric Triker, I'm going to leave a link down in the description below. I have a $60 discount code that'll save you a little bit of money. I know $2,399 is a lot to pay for a trike, but this is the nicest, most powerful trike that I have reviewed. When I think about who this trike is for, I think about people that have like mobility issues or somebody that has like balance issues. You know, they just can't get their equilibrium right. This will be a good trike for something like that. Also, if you live in a hilly area and you have a lot of hills, I 100% think this trike is going to help you make it all the way up to the top. Now, if you're not interested in a trike and you did watch the video, well, thank you. I hope you at least found the video interesting. And if not, well, you know what? YouTube knows what you like to watch. And what they're going to do is they're going to throw it up right over there. But either way, I want to thank you guys for making it to the end of the video and for watching. So until I see you again, enjoy the ride.